I once kept a fish in Ribena.
Right. David, Steve.
A live fish in
A
Ribena.
live fish.
What fish was it?
Goldfish.
What did it die of? Diabetes?
Just old age, it was 4. It lasted ages.
So, was this Ribena, like, neat Ribena?
So what happened is, in the olden days, when I was younger, you could win fish at the fair.
Why did you look at me when you said olden days?
So I was at the fair with my dad, won on the hook a duck, a fish, because that's what they used to give you. And then on the way home, as I am very clumsy, I dropped the fish on the floor, and the only thing that we had was a carton of Ribena. So my dad ripped it open, half of it with his teeth, popped the little fish in, took it home.
So how long was it in this Ribena?
About a good 15 minutes.
Or a traumatic 15 minutes.
I've seen your dad on Gogglebox.
Yeah?
He doesn't strike me as the kind of man that's ripping that Ribena off.
Whose team are you on?
I think he's just going to, like, squash it and buy a new one.
No, because we love animals and fish and that. You can't just kill a fish.
I mean, I have to say, you can just kill a fish, and there are many restaurants that trade pretty much exclusively on that premise.
No, I know, but to, like, kill it...
I mean, if you think
when
you're
it's
going to these
helpless.
places and they all died of natural causes, then... Sorry, we're not frying tonight, we're waiting for a cod pandemic.
That's funny, you know, man.
Oh, thank you very much. I knew it would come at some point.
I'm scared of fish.
You're scared of fish? Even goldfish?
I don't like no fish. I don't like the way you look at me. When I was little, a fish slapped me in the face in Brixton Market. It freaked me out.
I don't think the fish slapped you in the face, Nasty.
It slapped me in the face.
No, it was a person slapped you in the face with a fish.
No, the fish jumped up and it slapped me.
I sit corrected.
I don't care that we're on TV. I don't care that we're on TV. I gotta tell the truth, yeah? I was with my mum and dad in Brixton Market. And I was like, oh, fishes. Walked over there, they was all on the ice and that. So you go over there thinking, right, dead fish. Touched it and jumped up, slapped me. Yeah? Then Hussein bolted it, yeah? Mum had to put in a run. Seriously, stop.
I think this is the truth.
What are you thinking, Prue? Does it strike you as true?
I think Scarlett's a fantastic actress,
Isn't she?
isn't she?
Isn't
and it's
she?
just a lie.
A lie.
Nasty, what
do you
about
think
you?
it's true or a lie?
Hold on, let me tell you to Poirot. Well, monsieur, it seems too good to be true. Mademoiselle is lying.
You think it's a lie?
I think it's a lie, monsieur.
You think it's a lie? I will go with my team and say it's a lie.
I'm gonna go with your team, say it's a lie.
Yeah.
No, Nasty, she presses the buttons. But I love your enthusiasm. So, Scarlett Moffat, a goldfish in a carton.
Yeah,
Truth or lie?
it was. True.
Yes, it's true. Scarlett did once keep a fish in Ribena.
Every time I lose a tooth, I put it in a pot. This is that pot.
Right, at least teeth.
Now, I'm confused because my children are watching this. Why didn't the tooth fairy take them?
Well, they did some.
Because if you was to put that under your pillow, you'd get about 700 quid.
Are there teeth in there now?
Yes.
Okay.
So why did you decide to start just collecting them?
Something to do, isn't it?
So can I come and get it?
You can go and get it if you want to, yes.
All right.
You lost weight, you look great.
As rehearsed, well done. Thank you. I'll take the lid.
Yeah.
Feel like a very grumpy fairy. There's a quid under your pillow, love.
Oh my God! Oh wow!
Wow.
Huge.
That's a big one.
That's like a cat's tooth.
Like a fang.
This one's quite decayed.
Yeah, they're not healthy-looking teeth.
No.
She's from Bolton.
Can you talk us through them, Diane? Do you remember which one comes from where?
Well, they all came from my mouth.
I appreciate that, but in which
Can you
parts of the
explain
mouth?
this one? Because that is just...
That's
which
like a
one's that?
dinosaur tooth. It's very long and sharp.
Well, you know that it's not just the top of your teeth that you can see. They go down into your gums.
Oh, yeah, I went to school.
What scares me is if This isn't true. Whose teeth are they?
If I find out the producer of this show has pulled out his children's teeth for the sake of this show, I will genuinely say, well done, mate.
You can probably buy children's teeth online.
What do you think, Rory? Is she telling the truth?
I think she has to be telling the truth because she doesn't strike me as a person warped and deranged enough to collect other people's teeth.
No, I don't think... I don't... No. I think I better explain how this show works. If she's not telling the truth, it means that this is as new to her as it is to us. It doesn't mean I'm lying because they're not my teeth.
All right, it's true.
It's true.
I hope it's true.
OK, true.
You're saying it's true?
Yeah.
OK, Diane, truth or lie?
It's actually true.
Why would you do that?
The police once surrounded my house after I set off an alarm in my bikini bottoms.
David's teeth.
Interesting. Interesting location for the alarm. What was the alarm that you set off and how did you set
It was the house alarms. I was actually ironing in the garden with my bikini on, and I had the remote control for the alarms tucked down my bikini.
Let me stop you there. I could have sworn you said you were ironing in the garden in your bikini.
Yes.
It's a classic domestic scene.
I love that commitment to ironing. I haven't ironed anything since the late 90s, but it's very good.
We can tell, Lucy.
Yeah.
When was this, Debbie?
Oh, quite a few years ago now.
And in your bikini bottoms was the remote control
Yeah.
for what?
That set off the house alarms.
For the burglar alarm?
Yes,
essentially.
so I don't know what you call them.
A panic button.
Like a panic button, yeah.
I think if I was in the garden in a bikini ironing, I'd feel very vulnerable because there's a lot of flesh, isn't there, in the iron? You know how easy the phone rings and you do that? Did you not
to be
feel...
honest, if you're gonna smash the iron into your head, it doesn't matter whether you're wearing a bikini or the uniform of the Chelsea pensioners, you're still gonna get burnt.
So what happened when you pressed the alarm? Who was alerted and what did they do?
So I didn't know because it doesn't set the alarms off. It just rings the police. And so 15 policemen came round the corner.
They shouted, no, start with the collar, then the sleeves.
I never tried it again, so I don't know.
How did they react? Did they see the funny side?
Yes.
No, she wasn't facing them. I'm so sorry.
I know that's rude, but I can't quite figure out why. OK, well, I mean, it's elaborate, it's odd, it's unusual. Is it true?
In my younger days as a sun worshipper, I would do anything outdoors. When you're young and you want a tan, you just do anything.
What do you think?
Oh, I think... You know you had to make quicker decisions on the football pitch, don't you?
I think that's true.
You think it's true?
I think
you think it's true? We think it's true.
They think it's true. Debbie, truth or lie?
It's true.
Yes, it's true. Debbie did once set off an alarm that was in her bikini bottoms.
It says possession.
Now, first of all, read out the card, and then when you've done that, take the object and pop it on the desk.
I once bought a chest of drawers for my bedroom online. I realised I'd made a terrible mistake when this arrived.
David's team.
Is it a doll's house one, is it?
All the evidence is
it?
there, Mary. No, that's full size.
Yeah.
She's massive.
Sarah, on those things, when you buy online, they do have measurements. Did you not think to look at that?
I knew that with things like clothes and shoes. I didn't know some charlatans were making furniture this small.
So you think they were charlatans? They weren't just sincerely
They're
making
tricksters.
doll's house furniture. They were trying to pass off doll's house furniture as full-size furniture online.
That's what I think they're doing.
You weren't surprised by the comparatively inexpensive postage and packing?
No. Actually...
If out, put through letterbox.
Honestly, if you saw a picture of this just close...
It's massive!
How much was it, Sarah?
Yeah. £35.
So did you just think you were getting like a full-on bargain?
Very cheap.
Yeah, but that's
right.
gone from a relative bargain to a lot to pay for that.
I was disappointed.
Do the drawers actually open and shut? Is it functional?
The thing is, Rob, in a way, it's just like a normal set of chest
It really
of
is,
drawers.
isn't it?
Oh.
Like, you can put stuff in there, it's just not big enough for my trousers and my...
Sarah, so do you normally buy online your furniture?
I've got this habit at the moment, Mary. I like to buy things when I'm drunk, and then it's a surprise.
Why did you not send it back?
Yes, because you can on these things, you can contact the seller, can't you? And you can
Do you know,
rate them or complain.
Can I be truly honest with you?
Please do.
How are you going to be?
Again, I love this. And I was too embarrassed to say that I hadn't checked the measurements.
Where do you keep it now?
I keep it in my kitchen.
Why?
Well, I like to put money in there.
How much? How much money can you get in there?
£1 in there.
Yeah.
£2 in there.
Yeah.
A rolled up fiver.
Yeah.
And then
Careful.
a 20 if I've had to get a cab a long way. And it's good for spares, good for if you're tipping someone who's delivered you something.
A pound, 2 or 5.
Yeah.
Depending.
What if you want to do 3? That would kill me, that.
You just add the 1 to the 2.
£1 and a 2.
What do you think? Mary, what are you thinking?
It's a sweet story, Sarah, but I cannot believe you buy when you're drunk. So
What about you?
I think it's a lie, Sarah.
Ryland?
I disagree a little bit with Mary because I am a drunk buyer. I do like it late at
but I
night going,
believe
oh, I love something like that. But not a chest of drawers.
So what are you going to say, David, as captain of your
You
team?
think it's a lie?
I think it's a lie.
And, well, we're going to say lie.
It's got to be a lie, then. OK, Sarah.
Yep.
Truth or lie?
OK, I'm very relieved to tell you that it is true.
Oh! Yes, it's true. Sarah did buy a tiny chest of drawers by mistake. It's Aston.
A bodyguard once rushed me to safety after a fan went to extreme lengths to get into my hotel room.
Oh, this is ringing bells with you, Lee. Off you go.
What was the extreme lengths this fan went to?
Basically, we unloaded our suitcases off the tour bus and she had got herself into a suitcase and planted it.
Was she called Mrs. Houdini? What are you talking about?
Obviously, she's like someone must have put her there.
Was it zipped up?
I think so.
So I'm picturing it more like Scooby-Doo, like a potato sack tied with rope, and it's sort of moving. And they're saying, whose bag's this? And she said, no one, just take it to Aston's room.
Was it a woman or a man?
Oh, no, we were told it was a girl.
So you never saw this girl?
Might you have packed her in the previous hotel? You know, it's a bit of a crazy night and you're packing your stuff, and the next thing you know, she turns up at the next Premier Inn.
Yeah, no.
Did you get any description of this girl?
She was all right, apparently, but that was...
What are you thinking, Michaela?
I'm thinking it's probably true. I mean, fans do crazy things, don't they?
Ah, it's hard, isn't it? I think it might be true.
I think it might be a lie, but I'm going to go
Well,
with...
I'm going to change my mind and go with you, then.
No, we can't do that. If you say true and you say true and I go, well, I think it's a lie, but we'll go true, I'm covered both
though,
ways,
right?
aren't I? But this way now...
You're on this every week. You don't get Greg Wallace tasting a meal and going, I don't know, what do you think of it?
In that case, we're going to say it's a lie.
You say it's a lie. Aston, was it the truth or was it a lie?
It's true.
At school, I once rubbed stinging nettles all over my face and told my teacher I was ill so I could go and meet a boy in a graveyard.
David's team.
True. So this was a date in the graveyard. Was the boy living?
He was just before we met, yeah.
And these, Joe, you say these are your school days, so we're talking about the 1990s. Now, what was the... It's my way of being flattering and gentle and chivalrous, you see. Chivalrous. When was this, Joe?
The 1890s.
That would have been the late 60s, actually, early
Late
70s.
60s?
Yeah.
Gosh, OK. So when you walked into the graveyard like this, he must have been shocked to see you.
Rob, he was pleased to see me. He knew what he was going to get.
Whoa. What was he going to get?
I bought him a cake.
So, freshly nettled, you go and find your teacher. What happens then?
Well, I say to the teacher, I'm really not feeling well. I don't know whether I ate something for lunch that's given me some sort of allergic reaction. Can I go home?
I mean, I don't know. I've never run a school. But are you allowed, if a child says they're ill, you're allowed to just say, yeah, off you go?
Well, I said to her that my mum was at home and I live within walking distance of the school.
It was the late 60s, early 70s. Very different time. Children hadn't long stopped going up chimneys. So what do you think?
Oh, I
Johnny?
think it's so unfeasible, it's probably true, don't we?
Well, that's the wrong way to reason. It should be unfeasible things are less likely to be true.
Yeah, but...
Although the true things are deliberately picked to be unlikely.
Exactly.
I travel here by car, for example, never come up. That would be easy.
Sorry, can I just check something here?
Yeah.
Why do you get a car?
Yeah, it's a class thing, you know.
They still shouldn't make me drive your car.
Right, Joe, in the graveyard with
What
the
do you
young
think?
man.
It's
True.
Because it sounds so unlikely.
Yeah.
I still think it's flawed reasoning, but we'll go true.
You're saying that it's true.
Yeah.
Right, Joe. Truth or lie?
It is a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. Joe didn't rub stinging nettles over her face to get out of school.
Instead of rock, paper, scissors, I prefer to play my own version of the game, which is worm, pigeon, shotgun.
Please, team.
Right.
What beats what? Like, what is superior to what?
It's pretty obvious, isn't it? Pigeon
What beats shotgun?
Pigeon eat worm.
How does a worm beat a shotgun?
By crawling into the barrel. I mean, how do you think?
What's their hand actions?
Well, shotgun,
Yeah.
easy. Worm,
Oh,
and... OK, let's have a little game, me v you.
Just
Okay.
before
Worm,
we
pigeon,
start
shotgun.
this very competitive bout, tell us what tops what.
It's quite simple. Pigeon eats worm.
The shotgun eats the pigeon.
No, it doesn't eat the pigeon, does it?
The pigeon shoots the worm with the shotgun.
This is so much you're deliberately trying to make this complicated.
I just want
he's
the
genuinely
truth. I
stupid.
just want to get to the bottom of this.
OK.
Don't think of me as Rob Brydon and think of me as Robert Mueller. I will not rest until I find out what's
that
happening.
makes me Trump.
Yes, it does.
Oh, I don't like the thought of that.
You're a lot smaller, though, so you're Mueller light.
So, you know the rules. It's going to be the best of three.
Best of three.
I've got my own technique, by the way. I'm not going to use my hands.
Now, you've been
I
warned
think you
about
know
this.
which one I'm going to do, don't you? I'm not going to be big-headed. It's not a shotgun.
It's not even a worm, is it? Let's be honest. All right. here we go. Get ready.
OK.
1, 2, 3.
I'll tell you what, we all thought it was ridiculous. We're all into it now, aren't we? Are you ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Worm.
Sorry.
You shotgunned him. You shotgunned him.
OK, let's play. Richard needs just one win. He'll have victory.
Yeah,
If
Rob,
Lee...
I think they're following it.
It's a shame we won't now have time to play Would I Lie to You?
Here we go. Come on.
OK, 1, 2, 3.
Shotgun!
It's a convincing win for Richard the Big Man Osman.
So, what do we
wonderful
think?
to see.
I think it's plausible. I'm going to go true.
Yeah, I thought it was a lie until we played it.
Yeah.
And when we played it, I thought, panning out this.
OK, you're saying it's true. Richard, is it true or is it a lie?
It is a lie.
Until last year, I believed that reindeer were fictional creatures like unicorns, until my 6-year-old daughter told me the truth.
Please, team.
Until how long ago?
Last year.
Oh. Is it because Father Christmas's reindeers fly? So that's why they couldn't possibly
maybe
be
that's
true?
why I came to
I
that
get that.
conclusion. That I just felt like it was a ridiculous notion, yeah.
You were aware of deer, though, weren't you?
Yes, actually I was.
So you'd
because
seen
of Bambi.
deer?
Hang on, because of a fiction... This doesn't make sense. You've seen a fictional reindeer
Well, if
flying in the sky...
if Bambi flew, then I probably wouldn't have believed in deer.
What about Dumbo? Did you not believe in elephants? Did you stop believing in carpets when you saw Aladdin?
You know, I remember my ex-husband telling me that the moon was made of cheese, and I believed that. Like, there are things that I...
I think we should stop here for a second. You genuinely believed what your husband said when he said the cheese?
Well, I thought maybe it had, like, the same chemical makeup as cheese.
Can I just point out, Lily, you are saying this out loud on television.
Wow. Let's go back to the conversation between you and your little girl. How did it come about and what did she say?
I was going to take them on a trip to Lapland.
Right.
My daughter said, are there going to be reindeer? And I said, don't be ridiculous, reindeer aren't real.
What was her reaction to that?
She had been to another farm in Gloucestershire and had seen some reindeer, so she knew that reindeer were real.
And how long did this carry on?
Until I Googled reindeer.
Wow.
So, what are you going to say?
Well, it's a tricky one, because I can't believe she's never, up until that point, seen a reindeer.
I don't understand how you can go through life without seeing a real reindeer.
Sorry, are we talking about reindeer? Not...
Hello, David.
No, but... Sorry, because reindeer, they don't exist, do they? No,
Grandpa's woken up from his sleep on Christmas Day.
You can definitely go through your life without seeing reindeer.
No, you can't.
They're not like pigeons.
So what's it going to be, Lee? Let's go for a decision.
I mean, I still can't believe that giraffes are real. I've been to the zoo and I've seen giraffes. I still don't quite believe they're real.
Did you get out and feel it like Noddy would? I think it's a lie.
She's very believable, though.
You think she's lying, but she's believable?
Yeah.
And what kind of answer is that? I hope it's a lie, for Lily's sake.
Lily, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
I was telling a lie.
One December night, while dressed as Joseph, I had to shove a donkey off a country lane.
Please, team.
When was this, Noddy?
This would have been mid-70s.
So why were you dressed as Joseph?
Well, a friend of mine used to have a party every Christmas time, just before Christmas. And it was always fancy dress. And this particular year, he wanted to feature the Nativity. And I originally wanted to be Angel Gabriel.
Right.
But he said, I'm not having you, Angel Gabriel. You can be Joseph.
Why couldn't you be Angel Gabriel? Because of the accent? Oh, look, it's the little baby Jesus.
So I got an old curtain round me and a tea towel on my head.
Like tonight. So, whose party was it?
It was my best friend's party.
OK.
And...
Did they have a name, Noddy?
Swin. His name was Swin.
Swin? I wish you'd have said big ears, but come on. So, where does the donkey...
So, the time was getting on. It was 1 o'clock. I thought I'd better make my way home. And when I get outside, the air hit me and I felt a bit spacey and I think somebody had spiked my drink. So I set off and it sort of got worse and worse as I drove on. I was sort of blue flashing lights coming past me and all sorts.
Those would have been the police.
No, that comes later. Anyway, I'm driving and I thought I'll take the scenic route.
Right.
So I started to go down all these country lanes to make my way home. And suddenly, in the middle of the road, is a donkey. So I screeches to a halt, thinking, am I imagining this donkey, or is it a real donkey?
Am I really Joseph?
Is it possible it was just Elvis Costello turning up late to the party in fancy dress?
So I screeches to a halt, and I thought, I'd better get out and check whether I can't carry on. I couldn't drive round it, the lane was too narrow.
Yeah.
And I got out the car to feel if it was real or not.
Are you genuinely... So you're genuinely still not sure, even though you're right up to it? You have to feel it to see...
I feel it.
Can I ask you a question? Is this one big alibi for touching up a donkey?
So I get behind him.
Good idea. Safest place with a donkey, Noddy.
And start pushing him from behind.
Where's this story leading, Noddy?
Suddenly I hear,
Don't you mean E or E?
Of course, coming down the road is a cop car. Now, I'm used to, in those days, being pulled every night after late...
It's Christmas, Noddy, it's Christmas.
Anyway, they get out the car and do the usual. Here we are. Mr. Christmas, what's he doing now? As a last punchline, I said, I've been celebrating tonight because my wife's just had a kid. Which I thought was pretty good at the time.
What do you think, James?
I think it's true, but it's just nice to listen to him tell the story, and I kind of forgot halfway through I'm meant to be knowing if it's true or not.
He's definitely telling the truth.
I think it's the truth.
I think true.
True?
True.
OK, we'll say
Saying it's true. Noddy, was it true or were you telling a lie?
It is true.
That is true. Noddy did shove a donkey off a road while dressed as Joseph.
I once got my head stuck in a set of railings whilst trying to show my kids how I once got my head stuck in a set of railings.
David's team.
Yes, true, I think.
Just true. Just true.
Where were the railings?
Which time do you mean?
The second time.
The reenactment was at my house, the railings at the front of my house.
And you said to your children, these railings bring back memories of when...
Well, they're very... that's how it started. I said, they look very similar to the railings I had as a child. I said, have I ever told you the story of the time I got my head stuck in the railings? They said, no, Father, do tell.
And I tried to paint the picture with words. And as you know, I'm not great at that. So in the end, I just got frustrated. It's not that hard to follow. Look, I'll just show you. Come here.
And where did the original incident take place? The railing incident?
Should we call it Railings 1? The 70s railings.
Yeah.
The 70s railings happened in my hometown.
What happened? So you're stuck?
Well, the first incident ended with the fire brigade being involved.
Yep.
And where were the railings? They were in your hometown, but where specifically?
Railings 1, they were also in my house.
On the front garden of your house?
Yes, yes. We tried it in the upstairs bathroom, but they didn't look nice.
Railings 1.
We were struggling to get out of the bath. Oh, these are...
Railings 1, the fire brigade was called.
Yes, correct.
And what did they do?
They had to saw one of the railings.
Yeah.
What age were you for Railings 1?
I was about 9.
So this is a very scary occurrence for a child of 9. How did you react? Were there little tears?
There was little tears, yeah. Oh, Mother, my head is stuck in the rails, I said, vocally. I'll never forget, she came out with a glass of wine and a cigarette and laughed for about 25 minutes.
And how were you extricated after Railings 2?
Yes.
That means how did they get you out of the railings?
We tried all sorts of different systems. The kids started off with Lurpak.
How far apart are the railings?
Oh, about 40 years.
I mean railings 2.
Railing 2.
What about the size of his head, obviously?
Well...
Yeah.
Otherwise, he wouldn't be stuck, would he?
I know.
I can tell you this far apart.
Did you not think that your bonce was going to get stuck in there?
So I thought what would happen is I'd go in and it'd be a tight squeeze to get them out, but I'd still get it out. But I'd still have sort of proved my point that it's tighter to get it out than it is to put it in.
So did the fire... What happened next?
So my head's in the railings.
They've tried butter.
Railings 2.
Railings 2. Railings 1, fire brigade. It's over.
It's finished.
They've sawed through one of the things, they bent it apart a bit, you got out. Fine.
Yeah. Well, there's more to it than that.
What more?
Well, it's a long story. My mum fell in love with one of them and left my father. Okay. That's a whole different episode.
Railings 2, they tried butter.
Yes, they tried butter, they tried olive oil. I'm talking about the second incident, not my mum and the fireman.
Yeah.
What did they try? They tried olive oil, they tried butter, they tried soap. They tried an array of lubricants I have in my house.
So at this point, on either side of your head, there's quite a clot of slippy goos.
I'm not going to pretend it was a nice image, because it wasn't.
Yeah.
Especially given that my backside was facing the road. And particularly that I was stupid I was only in my boxer shorts.
You in your boxer
Because I thought this will take a second. No one passes by my house.
This will only take a second, so I'll take my trousers off first.
Did you get scared?
I was apprehensive that someone would phone the fire brigade and an old wizened fireman would turn up and say,
I remember you.
"You've done it again, haven't you?"
How did you get out? What worked in the
I'll
end?
tell you what worked in the end. Brute force.
What are you saying, truth or lie?
I think lie.
I think go with your heart.
Yeah.
OK, lie.
David's team is saying it's a lie. Lee, was it the truth or was it a lie?
It's a lie.
I once sneezed so hard in my car, I set off the airbag.
Please, team.
Wow. That is a big sneeze. Where were you?
I was in my car.
Whereabouts was the car in the country?
I was on a motorway.
Oh, you were travelling. At what speed?
Yes. About 65, 70.
Are you saying that you sneezed and the airbag went off, or are you saying you sneezed, crashed the car, and the airbag went off?
I sneezed, airbag went off, and because I was on the inside lane, I just pulled over.
The sheer force of the air from your nostrils and mouth. This can't have happened since your birth on the planet Krypton.
Did you contact the manufacturers? Can you tell us which kind of car it is?
It was an Audi A7.
Was it?
Yes.
Are you sure it wasn't an Audi do that, because it doesn't sound feasible?
Take us back to the beginning, Dion.
Yes.
Where were you travelling to?
I was on the M6 going from Warwickshire to Manchester.
What did you have to do?
For work, yes.
And what is it that you do?
I talk a little bit on the TV.
So you're some punditry.
I was going to do final score of Match of the Day or Football Focus.
So, Dane, you didn't cover your face when you sneezed?
No,
so that's a naughty boy, isn't it?
Not as naughty as driving without using your hands.
Yes.
Shoo! See, I'm very polite.
And would you say that, as a rule, you are a loud, violent sneezer? Because some are. Some give a little...
I didn't... Yes.
And some go... Gah!
There's one thing worse than both of those, and that is the people that threaten to do a big one, and it's a little one. You know, the ones that go... Stop those. They do my head in. What's the build-up for, then?
Where do you fall? Which of those camps are you in?
I'm quite a loud, violent sneezer.
You are?
Which I didn't think I was until I nearly killed myself.
Did you make it to work?
In another car, yes.
Who picked you up?
The dealership. I just rang the dealership straight away.
You rang the dealership?
You don't ring the dealership when you've had an accident.
Because I was on the M6, I was close to where the dealership was, and I thought that would be easier for them to come out and deal with my... I'd get a new car as well. They gave me a new car.
So the dealership...
This is the focus of disbelief, isn't it?
The dealership? The dealership I got the car from was in Warwickshire.
Right.
So I called them. I know the guy that owns the
set off?
dealership. I know the guy that owns the dealership.
What's his name?
Send someone out. Lee.
Lee... Oh! Is that right? Is his surname Mac? What's his surname? What's Lee's surname?
Beacon.
Oh, is that why you could see him from so far away? Did Lee personally come and pick you up?
No, he sent one of his staff.
What was his name? Was it Debbie?
Bob.
Bob. What was Bob's surname? Light bulb.
Is this true? What are you thinking, Bob?
Well, I'm thinking that big lad like Dion, maybe it could do it.
Debbie?
I just think if it was true, it would have happened to a lot more people, and we can't do that sort of research.
That's the trouble. The scope for research before answering the question is very limited. I always think if we could go away for a couple of weeks, really work on the questions, then we get a lot more right. But...
So, what's it going to be?
I'm going to go with Debbie and say it's not true.
OK. Dion, truth or lie?
It's... a lie.
Yes, it was a lie all along. Dion didn't set off the airbag in his car with a sneeze.
If I have learned one thing from my many years in business, it is this. Never trust a man in a floral shirt.
Right. Lee.
What is it about men with floral shirts?
Well, they're trying to make a statement.
What is that statement?
The wrong one. Trying to say, look at me, listen to me, I'm powerful, I'm sexy.
With flowers?
I'm in touch with my feminine side.
Is it in business only?
Yes. Well, because I've worked in the fashion business a lot.
All right, is it your day off?
And...
You started it!
I wasn't talking about you, Lee. I would never do anything like that. I really wasn't
You said a man in Florida
in business.
In business.
You don't do business, do you?
I do business.
Pitch something to Mary and see how she
OK,
reacts.
yeah. All right,
Lots of
hello.
money.
After a toaster.
No, so invest in my company.
Will you invest in my company? I haven't sold many toasters recently. I think it's my attitude. Is your bread not hot enough? What do you want to say?
Yeah, just make it look like you'll get your money back 20% on every pound you...
Do you want to buy my toaster? If you sell my toasters in your shop,
Yeah,
I'll let you...
A pyramid scheme, yeah,
What?
good. A pyramid scheme, that's good.
If you were to get loads of them, you could put them in the shape of a pyramid and we could... Maybe the Egyptians would buy them.
When you say, if I have learnt one thing in business, are you implying that you've only learnt one thing in business?
No. I've learned quite a few things.
OK, so if you've learned
like
two things in business, what's number two?
Never work with comedians.
Right. What do you think? Is she telling the truth, Lee?
Well, it could be true, I suppose. What do you think?
I don't think it's true because I don't think Mary judges people like that.
I've got nothing against his shirt. He's a comedian.
Yes.
I get it. This is men in business.
I mean, show business.
So there is a difference.
No, there isn't. There's no other business like show business. There's a song about that I heard once.
So, do you think Mary is telling the truth? Truth or lie?
So we're saying...
I think it's a lie.
Lie.
It's a lie.
You're going to say it's a lie. Mary,
better up,
truth or lie?
Oh, it is indeed a lie.
Oh.
Very much.
I once stole the shirt off a scarecrow in order to get into a nightclub.
Leasty.
Wow. OK. Was you not wearing anything before you went to the nightclub?
Me?
Yeah.
T-shirt, you see.
OK.
Oh, well, they wouldn't let you in?
Yeah, but they... Well, it is, you know, it's all a bit more relaxed these days because the dress code isn't what it was back in the day.
What was the day? What year?
Back in the day, or when this happened?
Well...
It was early 2000s.
Right, so early 2000s, you've gone to a nightclub. Where was this nightclub?
In Rochester.
Rochester is a town, right? And that's why it's got a nightclub in it. And scarecrows don't really tend to be used in towns
What
because there aren't any massive fields.
Thank you, Miss Martin.
So when did you find out you needed a shirt to get in the club? Did you go to the club
When
and
the
then
bouncer said, you ain't coming in.
Right, and then you walked back to the scarecrow to get the shirt?
I walked back to the allotment.
This is very high-level play.
This is like chess, isn't it, between Sean and Joe?
Take that, Moriarty.
Do you live in Rochester?
No.
So how did you know there was an allotment in Rochester near the nightclub?
I lived near it then.
Oh, I see.
It's like fencing, isn't it?
But then again, if you lived in Rochester, why didn't you just go home and get a shirt?
Oh, this gets better and better. Oh. Checkmate.
No. I was born in Chatham, but brought up in Maidstone. But my uncle lived in Rochester, and it was one of the allotments on his patch, so I knew where the allotments were. Apropos to the nightclub.
Miss Brown, back to you.
Can I ask, earlier
Yes,
you
sir.
said you had a T-shirt and trainers and jeans on.
Yes.
And you thought it was a relaxed club, but then you went to the club and they said you need a shirt, but you're not allowed in a club with trainers on.
OK. The bouncer was a
Can
big...
I just say, Sean, you're the kind of person that every time you speak, you always sound like you're going to start it with, I'd like to change my story.
But is that the impression I'm just giving you?
For the sake of the tape, the accused has walked into the room.
The bouncer was a massive fan of EastEnders and was quite embarrassed at turning me away. So I think when he saw the effort I'd made... Because I was already 8 pints to the wind, so when he saw the effort I'd made, I think he just couldn't bear turning me away again.
OK.
What do you think, Joe? Could this be true?
I think he'd have had a better time if he'd popped down the graveyard. I think there's a lot of anomalies in it.
This is what I think. A man who knows exactly where an allotment is because he knows the town so well knows you can't get into the nightclub without collars. And for that reason, Sean, we find you guilty.
So what's he saying, Lee? You think it's a lie, don't
Lie.
You think it's a lie?
you? You think it's a lie? You all think it's a lie?
We all think it's a lie.
Sean, truth or lie?
It is a lie.
It's a lie. Sean didn't steal a shirt from a scarecrow. So please welcome this week's special guest, Jonathan. So, Debbie, what is Jonathan to you?
Well, this is Jonathan, and when he was a baby, I used to pull him out of a top hat.
Bob, how do you know Jonathan?
This is my friend Jonathan, and I have brewed 3 award-winning beers with him.
Right. And finally, Lee, what's your relationship with Jonathan?
This is Jonathan. One Sunday, the two of us spent 3 hours trapped in an automatic car wash.
David's team, where will you begin?
Well, Debbie, so you used to pull Jonathan out of a top hat?
Yeah.
And so, how old was he then?
About 6 months.
6 months.
Was he a rabbit at that stage? He's grown up into a lovely bunny.
What a cougar comment that was.
He's going for it, though. Look, he's aflame with desire. Look at him.
He's got the right hairstyle to be pulled out of a top hat.
So, where did this happen?
This was in a summer season in Bournemouth.
Debbie, how big was the top hat then?
It was a prop top hat, so it was a bit bigger than a normal one. But, you know, babies aren't very big. He was only about this big.
6 months, not very big.
Yeah.
And so...
And was he the son of someone else in the summer season? Or
No,
was he one of the
was-
Chuckle Brothers' offspring or something?
No, it was a feature in the show, and we had different babies on different nights. You know, they were like in rotation, and they came from an agency.
So, who would bring Jonathan to the theatre?
His mother.
His mother?
Yeah.
And what would happen to him? I mean, I don't want you to give away the magic trick too much, but where was he stowed up to the moment where he's pulled out of the top hat?
I can't tell you because I'm a member of the Magic Circle and I can't give
That
the
is a
secrets
really
away.
handy thing for this game. I like it. Can you come on every week?
Well, don't give anything away, Debbie, but talk us through the trick.
There was a pretend rabbit, and then Paul would lift this big top hat from underneath and tipped it forward. And that's when I would come over as the assistant and take Jonathan out and say, and here's the rabbit's turned into a real live baby.
And the audience
And I'd
went,
be like
boo, we hate babies.
No, they
How long did they have to wait to be revealed?
Not very long. It wasn't a very long trick.
So they were only briefly on stage before the
They were only briefly
reveal
in terrifying darkness alone.
Which they are in a cot when they go to sleep at night.
And indeed in a womb.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the ultimate trick, isn't it?
Now, who would you like to question next?
Yeah. Bob,
remind us what it was that you've said. How do you know Jonathan?
Because I have brewed 3 award-winning beers with Jonathan.
what are the names of your award-winning beers?
The one that's my favourite is called Kiss the Alderman. That's an IPA.
Kiss the Alderman, an IPA, yes.
IPA. Another one was a stout, and it was called Retail Park.
Retail Park.
Yeah. And the other one was a lager, and that was called Not Now, Madam. It seems funny now. That's why we used it.
Not Now, Madam Lager. Kiss the Alderman, Retail Park.
Can I just say, he's written these down, so I hope you can remember them.
How long did you two work together for?
About 2 years ago, I was in a field, Dion, collecting some mud to go and bury at home in my garden. And along came Jonathan, or J-Keg, as I call him. And he said, I recognise you off the telly, you're that Ray Mears, is what he said. And we got chatting, and he said, do you like beer? I said, I like beer. He said, would you like to brew some beer? And
quick.
I said, yes, I would, rather urgently, actually.
I've run out!
And he's got a brewery, JPEG.
Yeah.
It's a lean-to next to a barn, right next to the field where I was. It's quite big, actually. It might be a lean 3 or a lean 4. So I went in this marvellous little brewery that I'm imagining, and we mashed. Well, part of the process is mashing.
Right.
You put a load of water in the cylinder, and you have to stir the malt barley.
Yeah.
And I did that bit of it, And I thought, I adore this. Is there any way that I could see this process through and we could call this beer Kiss the Alderman?
What is the Alderman?
He's an unelected council official. Say, for example, let's focus in on Bolton.
Yeah.
So if Bolton had a large Chinese community, but there was no representatives, councillors, they would say, would you like to informally nominate one of your Chinese community, and they will become an alderman, and they will sit on the council and be able to represent...
Right. No, that makes sense. So we've definitely covered what happens to the Chinese community in Bolton. However, back to the beer story.
Yeah, so... and that was Kiss the Alderman. So we brewed 1,000 litres, bottled it, and it was the top beer in the Kent Craft Ale Society.
Can I ask, my husband is a brewer, what hops did you use?
Citrus hops. One of them's called something, and the other one likewise is named as well.
I mean, this all checks out.
You know what? The thing that is the hipster brewing beard. If you were to say to me, draw a brewer, that's what I'd draw.
That's what you draw now. It's very interesting.
Now.
Whereas,
wow, really?
Whereas if someone asked you to draw a brewer 30 years ago, you'd draw someone very different, wouldn't you?
I'd draw you.
Now, what about Lee? Lee, remind us of your claim.
This is Jonathan. One Sunday, the two of us got trapped for 3 hours in an automatic car wash.
Where was it? Where was the car wash?
It was just outside the car. Near where I live in southwest London.
Whose car was it? Who's driving?
It was my car.
And was Jonathan in your car with you?
Correct. He was the passenger.
Why? How do you know
Because
Jonathan?
we can't both drive.
How do you know Jonathan?
I know Jonathan because we're in the same football team.
What is it, a bring your granddad team?
So you were you driving back from football?
Driving to football.
Driving to football.
Washing your car on the way to football. Oh, I'm looking forward to the game, young Jonathan. I really can't wait. But tell you what, let's wash the car first, so that when we arrive, everybody says, oh, Lee's doing well.
You drove into the car wash, and what happened?
So, there was 3 options. It was gold, silver or bronze. And obviously, being from the north of England, I was looking for a lesser metal than all 3. But it stopped at bronze. So I went in and I said, can I have a car wash? And he gave me the token, and I went back out and I
Was it a token? Sometimes it's a code these days.
All right, then what he said was, the token is where the squirrel likes to hide.
When I say code, I don't mean riddle. I mean a series of numbers that you put into a keypad.
On this occasion, it wasn't.
You put the token in the slot.
Yes.
You advance into the car wash. The weird things start going.
Yeah, so the big brush at the front that goes over your bonnet, that came towards us.
Yeah.
And then the side ones came. It was the side ones that caused the main issue. They got to the door, stopped, and just kept doing that. And we couldn't open the doors. And it did not stop for 3 hours. I know, it sounds unbelievable.
What? Why don't you climb over into the back seat and get out one of the rear doors?
Because it's a 2-door car.
And I'm assuming this happened before the invention of the mobile phone.
No, that was not true. It was during the invention of the mobile phone.
During it?
During the invention. In fact, do you know what we did? We were so stuck, didn't know what to do for 3 hours, we decided to invent the mobile phone. No, it was... his phone was in his sports bag in the boot.
Where was your phone?
My phone was with me.
Why didn't you use your phone?
Because the battery had gone.
How did you eventually get out?
I absolutely screamed and screamed, and this stranger passing by saw a big button on the thing that said, emergency stop. So he pressed the button, and it stopped, and when it stopped, it reset itself back to how it should be. We opened the door, and I went in. And he went, "Oh, you're back again." I said, "Yes, that's about my car." So what's up? I said, "I'll tell you what's up. The doors are phenomenally clean."
All right. We need an answer. So, David's team. Is Jonathan Debbie's magic mate, Bob's brewing buddy, or Lee's car wash companion?
I can't believe Lee's story is the kind of story I would have to invent to tell my husband if I'd been in a car with Jonathan for 3 hours. Jonathan looks like a hipster brewer to me.
What do you think?
I think it's Bob. I think they're mates and they've done some brewing together, yeah.
Yeah, OK,
You think Bob met him in a field while collecting mud? He said, "Come and have a look at my brewery."
Yes, yes.
And we're going to call our beer Kiss My Alderman.
It's not Kiss My Alderman. It's Kiss the Alderman.
I'm so sorry. If it's true, I'm sorry.
Rob, you can immediately appreciate why Kiss the Alderman is much more marketable than Kiss My Alderman. I certainly call mine the Alderman.
But very popular with the Chinese community.
So, David, what are you going to say?
I think my team thinks it's Bob. Yeah, but let's go.
OK, you're going to say Bob. OK. Jonathan, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Jonathan, and I brew beer with Bob.
Yes, Jonathan is Bob's brewing buddy. Thank you very much, Jonathan. Please welcome this week's special guest, Paul. Ryland, what is Paul to you?
This is Paul. Paul's my plumber, and he came over to fix a leak, but ended up cutting my hair.
Right, so, Ryland's hairdressing handyman. Mary, how do you know Paul?
This is Paul, and every Christmas I sing carols to Paul's cows.
Mary's festive friend. And David, what is your relationship with Paul?
This is Paul, and while browsing in a bathroom showroom, he persuaded me to hop in a tub with him to test whether it would fit him and his wife.
Lee's team, where do you want to begin?
All right, we'll start with Ryland. When was this haircut?
This was Big Brother Power Trip 2014.
What did you say before that?
I've measured years by Big Brothers.
Big Brother.
So how many brothers have you got?
No, I work on Big Brother, so I do it by the theme, and the reason Paul came round... I measure it by Big Brothers, 2014.
Was he giving you a haircut for Big Brother?
No, but he ended up giving me a haircut for Big Brother. So my brother-in-law knows Paul, because my brother-in-law's an electrician, and he said, Paul, do the plumbing, because my brother-in-law did the electric.
Is everyone paying tax? Just checking, because I know how these things can be.
You know what it's like.
Paul's giving me a right look.
Where was the leak? It was basically my shower was dripping, and I'd called my hairdresser Hayley, and because he comes to my house to cut my hair and colour my hair, because this isn't real, guys. Shock.
Yeah.
And I said, babe, can you come and do my hair? It's Big Brother starts tomorrow. It's the launch. I need my cut and colour done. And she said, babe, I'm in Tenerife. And I was like, are you joking? It's fine. I used to do hair when I was 16. I said, I'll just do my own colour because I've got everything indoors anyway. So I put my colour on, and then when I went to wash my hands, I realised that there weren't no water coming out of the tap. So I rang Paul and said, Paul, come over to fix my taps, and yeah.
And then what happened?
Well, then basically Paul came over and he fixed everything.
Yeah.
And I said, Paul, you want to do me a favour, would you? I've obviously got everything at home. All I needed was like my sides and my back just shaved, and I've obviously got the razor. It's like number 4 setting or whatever.
Why have you got all the equipment at home?
Because I studied hair when I was 16.
Can I
so I've
say
got
one
everything at home.
rookie error?
With?
You. What you've done is you're washing your hands. Everyone, even if they're doing
Gloves.
it, wears gloves.
Yeah,
so why have you got it on your hands?
Because I was colouring my own hair, so I had to do the back.
The gloves come in the packet.
Yeah, but it doesn't go all the way out there, darling.
Oh, so it was
David, when you do yours, do you wear gloves or do you mind the dye going on?
I just get a team of people round. I think, you can't afford to take risks with your look.
Yeah.
So this was one day before you were due to film Big Brother?
It was on the Thursday and we launched on the Friday.
You let a plumber with a razor blade shave the back of your head before you did national television?
Right, it was very, very simple. It was brilliant.
Here's a detail then. So, he fixed the water, and then you had a shower to get all of the stuff out of your hair. And
Yeah.
what did Paul do while you were in the shower?
I'd made Paul a coffee, and this was before, obviously, that I took my colour off, and I said, Paul, do you mind just sticking around 15 minutes just while I wash this colour off? I'll dry my hair and we just shave it.
This sounds a little bit like the start of Confessions of a Plumber. Oh, Paul, I just need to pop into the shower. Paul came in and there was some 70s jazz music.
And what sort of job did he do? Was you pleased with it?
Yeah, very pleased. Everyone said my hair looked nice.
How long did it
we
take?
did a good job. Like 5 minutes, not even
Well,
that.
it's about 25 minutes if he's a plumber with fag breaks and tea breaks. He didn't react, he's not a plumber.
I think he might have died.
OK, so, shall we move on to Mary?
Mary, yes.
Mary,
Just remind us,
Singing to
Mary,
cows.
what is it that you claim here with Paul?
I sing to Paul's cows at Christmas.
Oh, yes.
Right, what do you sing to them?
Away in a Manger.
You sing Away in a Manger to them, do you?
Yeah, and what's that one?
Well, you should know, you do it every year.
The cattle are lowing, the babe... That one, the baby
That is
away.
Away in a Manger.
Yeah.
That's Away.
And,
Yeah, that one, I sing that one.
I suppose the big question has to be why?
Well, because apparently they really like it. I'm not a particularly good singer. I'm not a particularly good singer, but they like being sung to, and it's a kind of...
Why do they like being sung to?
They find it very moving.
Yeah, and
Is there a reason that he chooses you as opposed to somebody who admits they can sing well?
Well, no, it's not just me.
Oh.
I'm part of the community who, live near Paul, and, we all get together to sing.
What's the actual purpose of this?
Lots of things. You give thanks, it's Christmas, and probably, that the cows are going to be in for the chop.
Well, I was about to say, if you really want to thank the cow in a way that would mean something to the creature, you've got to let him go.
That doesn't make any sense at all. What are you thanking them for, then?
Yeah.
The thing you're thanking them for, you then don't get. The key thing is what you're thanking them for is their forthcoming deliciousness. You've got to do it in advance, because afterwards they can't hear you.
He's a really caring farmer, I have to say this. He's, a
Tell that to
little
the
bit of a
cows.
hippie. And I'm a bit of a hippie, and we connect, and we sort of think, this is a really lovely thing to do.
Not so much of a hippie that you don't mind killing the cows.
Hippies can kill cows.
You probably don't kill the cows
No, I
yourself.
don't- I
You
don't kill
outsource them. That's the system.
I don't kill them.
Don't kill the cows yourself.
I sing to them.
That's very messy and upsetting. Send them to an abattoir. A lovely abattoir. A pampering abattoir. It's like a spa, but with knives.
Right, what about David?
So, David, remind us again.
While browsing in a bathroom showroom, Paul persuaded me to try out a bathtub with him to see if it would fit him and his wife.
Right.
Okay, so-
How did he approach you? What was the conversation?
Well, he approached me and said that he recognised me from the television.
Right.
On which I have appeared.
Oh. You had your I'm David Mitchell T-shirt on again, did you?
What were you shopping for that day?
A small basin or sink.
A small one?
A small one.
Don't want to treat yourself?
Like those...
Somebody
can sort you out.
I should clarify. What I was looking for was to human scale.
David, what was going through your mind when a complete stranger walks up to you and says, I know you from the telly, will you get into the bathtub with me?
Well, it didn't happen like that. It didn't...
All right, then. It didn't happen like that, but tell us another version how it didn't happen.
Well, he initially said, I like your work on television.
Really?
It's a lie.
I'm going to say it. He asked for a selfie. We took a selfie, so it was very nice. I was feeling my...
It was very nice.
My fragile... Yeah, it was nice. Look, it's not an accident we're in this business. On some level, we have an emptiness inside that we need to fill with the approval of strangers. And a little bit of the approval of a stranger was making me feel a bit better about myself. Thank you very much.
And David...
Albeit briefly, and then it turned out he had an ulterior motive.
David, I need you to act this up because we're all talking about this like it's sensible. But it's too intimate. Unless...
We were clothed.
I know. I want to know which way round. Did you sit opposite each other with your legs
No, we both sat at the same end.
So you were spooning you?
No, of course we sat at opposite ends.
Did you choose the tap end or the non-tap end?
The tap was in the middle.
So this is the thing. For an actual rational human being to think, I wonder if I'll fit in this massive bath with my wife, I'll ask this minor celebrity that I don't know.
Look, Elton John was in the shop and he'd said no.
Will you do it with Rylan for me?
OK, well...
So what am I...
Well, we've got to imagine
You're gonna be-
we're getting in a... You're a very tall man.
I'm quite tall.
Yeah.
God almighty, I can see why you can't get phones in a wallet in those.
As a working hypothesis, let's say this rectangle is broadly the bath.
Yeah.
So...
Is there any blood going to your feet?
You're in the bath showroom.
So you sit at that end, the tap's here.
Is this what you did? You took control, David?
No, I didn't take control. And then, as you can see, our legs sort of tessellated. No, in between.
You know what this is making me think, David? I'm picturing, you just look at each other now, and I'm picturing a voiceover saying, there are many ways to keep a relationship fresh and alive. Why not try sharing a bath together? I think, well done. To you both. Right, now then, we need an answer. So, Lee's team, is Paul Ryland's hairdressing handyman, Mary's festive friend, or David's bath buddy?
What do you think?
The only story that made any kind of sense whatsoever was Ryland's.
Why?
Ryland's?
Yeah, Ryland's.
Oh.
I can believe that a man whose obsession is being legendarily well-groomed and stylish would panic and get his plumber to do his hair. I could just about believe that.
I've been looking at Paul while everyone's been talking, and he really did light up during David's story. Like, he was really enjoying it, like he was a fan of David.
Or it might be the first time he's heard it.
It's true as well.
What about the farming? What do you think about
So that's
Mary?
the one I think is true.
The farmer?
I think that some local people would go and sing for animals at a local farm just as a thing to do.
I do believe that you can sing to a cow. I believe slightly more that somebody would have their hair cut by a plumber. However, not him. I mean, who did your teeth? The Tyler? Go on then, we'll say Mary.
You're going to say it's Mary? OK. Paul, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Paul, and every Christmas Eve...
Yes, Paul is Mary's festive friend. Thank you very much, Paul. So please welcome this week's special guest, Zoe. So, Thomas, who is Zoe to you?
This is Zoe, and while handing her a prize at the UK Weather Awards, I was struck on the head by a Perspex lightning bolt.
Right, Thomas's weather woman. Scarlett, how do you know Zoe?
This is my old flatmate Zoe. We once discovered we'd been burgled when we arrived home dressed as burglars.
Scarlett's burgled burglar. And Lee, what's your relationship with Zoe?
This is Zoe. Together, we formed a search party and scoured a campsite by torchlight for a missing cuddly frog.
David's team, where will you begin?
Thomas, this was at what awards?
The UK Weather Awards.
And what are the UK Weather Awards given for? Best rainstorm?
Could be the best national weather presenter, regional weather presenter.
Any more? And what was Zoe winning for?
She's a regional weather presenter from Northern Ireland.
And she won Best Regional Weather Presenter?
Yes.
And were you hosting the awards, or
No.
you were just there to give that award out?
I was just handing the prize to her.
And what happened?
At one point, there was just a a noise and something hit my head. I had no idea what it was, and it fell from above. It was a Perspex thunderbolt. It was part of the decorations, the symbols hanging above the stage.
Part of the set?
Yes. When it hit my head, I didn't obviously know it was a thunderbolt at the time until I saw it.
You didn't know what had hit you?
Exactly.
And then you saw what had hit you?
I was really surprised. Well, wouldn't you be?
Yes, I would be, yeah. I'd be surprised if it was true.
Who next, David?
Lee, what's the story here?
Zoe and I...
Yeah.
We had to do a late-night Cuddly Frog search by torchlight.
Yeah. OK, so who did the Cuddly Frog belong to?
The Cuddly Frog belongs to Zoe's very young child.
How did you know Zoe?
Zoe was about 4 or 5 tents down from us. I didn't know Zoe at all.
Paint the picture for us, Lee. You're in the tent. Have you zipped up?
Oh, yeah, we're totally flat down.
Right. You and Mrs. Mac are cuddled together?
We are, you know, we're on our inflatable mattress.
Right. What?
Actually, no, Mrs. Mac is also inflatable. It was very much an inflatable. The kids, they're not really either.
And then a rat-a-tat-tat.
Yeah, you don't do it on a tent, it wouldn't work. A flap, a flap, flap.
And what happened?
I heard a sort of distressed
signal,
whimper, as the only way I could say.
A whimper. Now, who is this? This is Zoe, or is this still your wife?
This is not my wife. This is Zoe, who I don't know at this point is called Zoe.
No.
Zoe is outside the tent, sounding a bit distressed, and then I heard maybe 3 or 4 tents down the crying of a small child.
Oh.
Oh, where's my frog? He said, where's my frog? And I said, darling, we'll finish this in a moment. I must go out and... I must see what's going on. So she put the Scrabble set away. So I stepped out of the tent and I said, are you OK? And she was a bit teary. She went, not really. My child's
I thought
taught...
she had a Northern Ireland accent. Oh, no,
No, that's me.
They can't all be true. Did you know that means that you're now not telling the truth?
Yeah.
Think about the logic of that.
My advice to you, Scarlett, is to pretend that your former flatmate is also a Northern Irish weather presenter.
So, I go outside the tent and I see that Zoe is a bit distressed. I said, madam, can I be of any assistance to you?
What did you have on your feet?
What did I have on my feet? I had skis. What do you mean?
Well, hear me out. You've sprung into action.
Yes.
In the tent.
All right, I had springs on my feet.
And I'm wondering, do you do your shoes and take a while? You sling on a pair of Crocs?
I had my slippers on, my lambskin slippers. And I went outside with my little slippers on, and I said, are you OK? And she went, no, my child's lost his toy and he's getting very distressed and he can't sleep without it. And I said, well, hey, you shouldn't be doing this on your own. I said, love, get out of the tent and have a... But she was snoring at this point, so I got the torch and we went searching for the frog.
Where did you find the frog?
Well, this is the interesting part of the story.
I hope so.
Hopefully. It was actually in there's a small shop on camp, and it was in the fridge of the shop, and the shop was dark, but the fridge was lit up because the fridge stays on. And it was sitting in the fridge. Oh. The child has put the toy, apparently, in the fridge to play a game, forgotten about it, left it, and it's just stayed there.
You could see it behind the glass-fronted fridge.
And the shop was locked, because it was night time. So we had to leave it. We couldn't... I'm going to break in through the skylight. I thought, I can't do that, can I? I can't break in for a soft toy with a woman I've never met. With a couple of torches, and we both had balaclavas on. It would have looked like...
Nasty, are you taking notes?
No, I think you're doing a drawing, aren't you?
I'm not offensive. You're just boring the life out of me. I'm not sure attention span.
Now, Scarlett.
Yes?
Remind us how you know Zoe.
So, Zoe is my...
How you know Northern Ireland weatherwoman Zoe.
So, me and Zoe went to uni together, and we lived together. And we had been on a night out, got back and discovered that we had been burgled whilst dressed as burglars.
Right, OK.
Why were you dressed as burglars?
So, when you do initiations, because we were in the hockey society together, we had to dress as burglars, because we were in the first year, and then the second and third years dressed as cops. So we went out and we had swag bags, masks, stripy jumper, and then came back and discovered we'd been burgled. So obviously when the police rocked up, they thought we were joking. And we were in hysterics. I was just stood there with my swag bag like, we've been burgled.
Did the police think you'd burgled it yourselves?
I just think they thought it was like a uni prank.
Right.
Like
Are you sure they were police? Because you said it was a cops and robbers party.
They legit workers, we'd rang them, yeah.
Right, OK.
And what was funny is my friend Sarah's mum came to pick me and Sarah up, and when she went in my bedroom, she started crying. She was like, oh, my God, look what they've done. And I was like, no, Wendy, this was just my room. My room is just a mess. They just took my laptop off my bed. It's fine.
Why would they smear that on the walls?
Is it? Nasty's saying you don't look the same age.
Yeah, man, that's some Back to the Future Marty McFly business. If you was in the same uni, you must be a first grade and she was at least a year above you. No offence, Zoe.
How old do you think I am?
All right, you look, realistically,
This is no time for realism.
Early 20s, late 20s?
No, I'm not. I'm not early 20s.
Late 20s?
I'm 28 this year.
So late 20s then?
Yeah.
Yeah? You go,
Mid to
girl.
high 20s.
Yeah? Mid to high 20s, yeah? Boom.
Oh, Nasty, please
Zoe,
be nice.
You look like me, baby girl. You could be in your 30s.
Can I ask you a question, Nasty? Have you ever met a woman?
Who's that? But you gotta be honest. We're trying to save people's lives right now. Feelings if you want the truth. You can't handle the truth. You know what I mean? It's true, though, isn't it? It's like me saying, raw, I was in school with my mum.
Yeah, but Zoe's younger than me. Zoe is legit younger than me.
No, because she was finding her kid's frog.
No, she
Let's just say, boom, move on. Prue, what do you think?
I believe half of Lee's story. Is that all right?
Well, that's a first.
Nasty?
Yeah, Tabernacle Man.
What? Well...
Tabernacle.
He definitely means you, Thomas.
What's the name of our Prime Minister again?
Theresa May.
Yeah, see,
I mean, although at time of broadcast, it won't be.
Well, she had malfunctions on her set and things dropped down on
That's a very good point.
Yes,
things happen
exactly
on the weather all what he's talking about.
Yeah.
That's true, actually, yeah. This is like one of those buddy-buddy cop movies, isn't it? Where the two different cops have been paired together. I really don't think this is going to work, but we'll give it a go. But you get...
That's a very good impression of Big Nasty. Well, my team doesn't think it's Scarlett, so we're ruling out Scarlett, and then it has to be one of Lee or Thomas. Oh.
Knackerman.
All right. Go on.
You're going
we'll
with
go
Thomas.
with Thomas.
No, it's not you. Here we go. Zoe, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Zoe, and Scarlett and I discovered we've been burgled whilst Christmas burglars.
Yes, Zoe is Scarlett's burgled burglar. Thank you very much, Zoe. Please welcome this week's special guest, Paul. So, Ryland, what is Paul to you?
This is Paul. Paul's my plumber, and he came over to fix a leak, but ended up cutting my hair.
Right, so, Ryland's hairdressing handyman. Mary, how do you know Paul?
This is Paul, and every Christmas I sing carols to Paul's cows.
Mary's festive friend. And David, what is your relationship with Paul?
This is Paul, and while browsing in a bathroom showroom, he persuaded me to hop in a tub with him to test whether it would fit him and his wife.
Lee's team, where do you want to begin?
All right, we'll start with Ryland. When was this haircut?
This was Big Brother Power Trip, 2014.
What did you say before that?
I measure years by Big Brothers.
Big Brother.
So how many brothers have you got?
No, I work on Big Brother, so I do it by the theme, and the reason Paul came round, I measure it by Big Brothers, 2014.
Was he giving you a haircut for Big Brother?
No, but he ended up giving me a haircut for Big Brother. So my brother-in-law knows Paul, because my brother-in-law's an electrician, and he said, Paul, do the plumbing, because my brother-in-law did the electric.
Is everyone paying tax? Just checking, because I know how these things can be.
You know what it's like.
Paul's giving me a right look.
Where was the leak?
It was basically my shower was dripping, and I'd called my hairdresser Hayley, and because who comes to my house to cut my hair and colour my hair, because this isn't real, guys. Shock.
Yeah.
And I said, babe, can you come and do my hair? It's Big Brother starts tomorrow. It's the launch. I need my cut and colour done. And she said, babe, I'm in Tenerife. And I was like, are you joking? It's fine. I used to do hair when I was 16. I said, I'll just do my own colour because I've got everything indoors anyway. So I put my colour on, and then when I went to wash my hands, I realised that there weren't no water coming out of the tap. So I rang Paul and said, Paul, come over to fix my taps, and yeah.
And then what happened?
Well, then basically Paul came over and he fixed everything.
Yeah.
And I said, Paul, you wouldn't do me a favour, would you? I've obviously got everything at home. All I needed was like my sides and my back just shaved, and I've obviously got the razor. It's like number 4 setting or whatever.
Why have you got all the equipment at home?
Because I studied hair when I was 16.
Can I
so I've
say
got
one
everything at home.
rookie error?
With?
You. What you've done is just washing your hands. Everyone, even if they're doing
Gloves.
it, wears gloves.
Yeah,
so why have you got it on your hands?
Because I was colouring my own hair, so I had to do the back.
The gloves come in the packet.
Yeah, but it doesn't go all the way out there, darling.
Oh, so it was
David, when you do yours, do you wear gloves or do you mind the dye going on?
I just get a team of people round. I think, you can't afford to take risks with your look.
Yeah.
So this was one day before you were due to film Big Brother?
It was on the Thursday and we launched on the Friday.
You let a plumber with a razor blade shave the back of your head before you did national television?
Right, it was very, very simple. It was
Here's a detail then. So, he fixed the water, and then you had a shower to get all of the stuff out of your hair. And what did Paul do while you were in the shower?
I'd made Paul a coffee, and this was before, obviously, that I took my colour off, and I said, Paul, do you mind just sticking around 15 minutes just while I wash this colour off? I'll dry my hair and we just shave it.
This sounds a little bit like the start of Confessions of a Plumber. Oh, Paul, I just need to pop into the shower. Paul came in and there was some 70s jazz music.
And what sort of job did he do? Was you pleased with it?
Yeah, very pleased. Everyone said my hair looked nice.
How long did it take?
He did a good job. Like 5 minutes, not even
Well,
that.
it's about 25 minutes if he's a plumber with fag breaks and tea breaks. He didn't react, he's not a plumber.
I think he might have died.
OK, so, shall we move on to Mary?
Mary, yes.
Mary,
just remind us,
Singing to
Mary,
cows.
what is it that you claim here with Paul?
I sing to Paul's cows at Christmas.
Oh, yes.
Right, what do you sing to them?
Away in a Manger.
You sing Away in a Manger to them, do you?
Yeah, and what's that one?
Well, you should know, you do it every year.
The cattle are lowing, the babe... That one, the baby
That is
away.
Away in a Manger.
Yeah.
That's Away.
And,
yeah, that one, I sing that one.
I suppose the big question has to be why?
Well, because... Apparently they really like it. I'm not a particularly good singer. I'm not a particularly good singer, but they like being sung to, and it's a kind of...
Why do they like being sung to?
They find it very moving.
Yeah, and
Is there a reason that he chooses you as opposed to somebody who admits they can sing well?
Well, no, it's not just me.
Oh.
I'm part of the community who, live near Paul, and, we all get together to sing.
What's the actual purpose of this?
Lots of things. You give thanks, it's Christmas, and probably, that the cows are going to be in for the chop.
Well, I was about to say, if you really want to thank the cow in a way that would mean something to the creature, you've got to let him go.
Well, that doesn't make any sense at all. What are you thanking them for, then?
Yeah.
The thing you're thanking them for, you then don't get. The key thing is what you're thanking them for is their forthcoming deliciousness. You've got to do it in advance, because afterwards they can't hear you.
He's a really caring farmer, I have to say this. He's a, a little bit of a hippie. And I'm a bit of a hippie, and we connect, and we sort of think, this is a really lovely thing to do.
Not so much of a hippie that you don't mind killing the cows.
I'm a hippie can kill cows.
You probably don't kill the cows
No, I
yourself.
don't
You
kill
outsource them. That's the system.
I don't kill them.
Don't kill the cows yourself.
I sing to them.
That's very messy and upsetting. Send them to an abattoir. A lovely abattoir. A pampering abattoir. It's like a spa, but with knives.
Right, what about David?
So, David, remind us again.
While browsing in a bathroom showroom, Paul persuaded me to try out a bathtub with him to see if it would fit him and his wife.
Right.
Okay, so-
How did he approach you? What was the conversation?
Well, he approached me and said that he recognised me from the television.
Right.
On which I have appeared.
Oh. You had your I'm David Mitchell T-shirt on again, did you?
What were you shopping for that day?
A small basin or sink.
A small one?
A small one.
Don't want to treat yourself?
Like those...
Somebody can sort you out.
Yeah, no, I should clarify. It was what I was looking for was to human scale.
David, what was going through your mind when a complete stranger walks up to you and says, I know you from the telly, will you get into the bathtub with me?
Well, it didn't happen like that. It didn't...
All right, then. It didn't happen like that, but tell us another version how it didn't happen.
Well, he initially said, I like your work on television.
Really?
It's a lie.
I'm going to say it. He asked for a selfie. We took a selfie, so it was very nice. I was feeling my...
It was very nice.
My fragile... Yeah, it was nice. Look, it's not an accident we're in this business. On some level, we have an emptiness inside that we need to fill with the approval of strangers. And a little bit of the approval of a stranger was making me feel a bit better about myself. Thank you very much.
And David...
Albeit briefly, and then it turned out he had an ulterior motive.
David, I need you to act this up because we're all talking about this like it's sensible. But it's too intimate. Unless...
We were clothed.
I know. I want to know which way round. Did you sit opposite each other with your legs
No, we both sat at the same end.
So you were spooning you?
No, of course we sat at opposite ends.
Did you choose the tap end or the non-tap end?
The tap was in the middle.
So this is the thing. For an actual rational human being to think, I wonder if I'll fit in this massive bath with my wife, I'll ask this minor celebrity that I don't know.
Look, Elton John was in the shop and he'd said no.
Will you do it with Rylan for me?
OK, well...
So what am I...
Well, we've got to imagine we're getting in a... You're a very tall man.
I'm quite tall.
Yeah. God almighty, I can see why you can't get phones and a wallet in those.
As a working hypothesis, let's say this rectangle is broadly the bath.
Yeah.
So...
Is there any blood going to your feet?
You're in the bath showroom.
So you sit at that end, the tap's here.
Is this what you did? You took control, David?
No, I didn't take control. And then, as you can see, our legs sort of tessellated. No, in between.
You know what this is making me think, David? I'm picturing... You just look at each other now, and I'm picturing a voiceover saying, there are many ways to keep a relationship fresh and alive. Why not try sharing a bath together? I think well done. To you both. Right, now then, we need an answer. So, Lee's team, is Paul Ryland's hairdressing handyman, Mary's festive friend, or David's bath buddy?
What do you think?
The only story that made any kind of sense whatsoever was Ryland's.
Why?
Ryland's?
Yeah, Ryland's.
Oh.
I can believe that a man whose obsession is being legendarily well-groomed and stylish would panic and get his plumber to do his hair. I could just about believe that.
I've been looking at Paul while everyone's been talking, and he really did light up during David's story. Like, he was really enjoying it, like he was a fan of David.
Or it might be the first time he's heard it.
It's true as well.
What about the farming? What do you think about
So that's
Mary?
the one I think is true.
The farmer?
I think that some local people would go and sing for animals at a local farm. This is a thing to do.
I do believe that you can sing to a cow. I believe slightly more that somebody would have their hair cut by a plumber. However, not him. I mean, who did your teeth? The Tyler? Go on then, we'll say Mary.
You're going to say it's Mary? OK. Paul, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Paul, and every Christmas Eve...
Yes, Paul is Mary's festive friend. Thank you very much, Paul. So please welcome this week's special guest, Shabs. So, Sean, what is Shabs to you?
This is Shabs. I keep my chicken drumsticks in his nuclear bunker.
Right, so, Sean's bunker buddy. Johnny, how do you know Shabs?
This is Shabs, and he used to regularly park cars on my foot to stop me going anywhere.
Johnny's parking prankster. And finally, David, what is your relationship with Shabs?
This is Shabs, and he's taught his parrot to say, "Nice shoes, Dave," whenever I enter his cobblers.
Lee's team, where will you begin?
Should we start with Sean? Let's start with Sean, I think, yeah? You leave your chicken drumsticks in his nuclear shelter. Is that what you're claiming?
Yes.
OK, enough questions. Johnny. Where is this nuclear shelter?
In a field out the back of his garden.
Which part of the country?
Mid-Kent.
I don't think anyone's ever referred to whatever area you're talking about as Mid-Kent. I mean, people say, where are you from? Oh, I'm mid-British. You're not mid-Kent.
Well, it's down from the Midlands. That's the middle of Britain, isn't it? But anyway... Sean, has he got a freezer in his nuclear bunker?
A very large chest freezer.
How many chicken drumsticks have you got in it?
There's probably in there, I'd say it's a pack of 10... Because it's not just drumsticks, you see.
Oh, you're not running a catering firm on the side?
No, I have meat mass-delivered, and sometimes I need an overflow. Well, from a regular delivery from a butcher's.
Right. Why are you buying so much meat?
Because what's happened in particularly this year, I've been working away a lot, so I haven't been going through the amount of meat I normally go through. So at the moment, there's just a bit of an overflow.
Well, why didn't you stop the order?
How do you know Shabs?
I know Shabs from my local pub cricket team.
What fielding position?
Well, yeah, slip and number 4 batsman.
Right. And what does he do?
All-rounder. Excellent.
No, all right, sorry. He does everything. He bats, he bowls, he freezes your meat.
Sean, I've never been into a nuclear bunker. What's it like?
OK, so basically, when you approach it, you'll see something that might look like a sort of white, woodeny, one of those slatted beehives, the square beehives.
A slatted beehive,
yeah,
yes.
But what that is, that's, I think, is the air conditioning, purifying system. And then there's almost like a hatch, like a submarine hatch.
Yes.
So you climb down a ladder, a metal ladder...
Sorry, can I just check? Have you been watching the Teletubbies recently?
And then you get down the bottom of the ladder. Is there a living area, a bedroom?
Yes, there's a living area. He has got a television and a cracking stack.
Oh, yeah, because after the nuclear war, you're going to get a lot of telly, aren't you? I bet EastEnders survives.
The cockroach of TV shows.
You said it.
I can't go back. But he's got a cracking selection of videos.
Oh, I bet he has.
Video player.
And now the truth comes out.
Yeah.
I'm just going to see Shabs to get some chicken drumsticks, love. Shall be long.
Right, Lee, who would you like to quiz next?
OK, Johnny, so just remind us again what this fella did to you.
He used to park cars on my foot so I couldn't move.
You couldn't move?
On your prosthetic foot?
Obviously on the prosthetic one.
He's a friend of yours that did this, or is he...
I used to work in a garage, and Shabs worked in the garage.
Where was this? Mid-Kent?
In St Ives.
St Ives?
St Ives?
Not Cornwall St Ives, Cambridgeshire St Ives.
I mean, how did he do it? Because surely you sort of saw the car coming and you moved away.
He'd try and stop on the foot, but sometimes he'd miss. But if he got it, he'd pull the handbrake and get out of the car and walk off.
I want to know, how did it start the first time?
I was working there and Shabs joined, and one of the other guys told me it'd be quite funny because he didn't know that I had a prosthetic leg, to get my foot trapped under a wheel.
To try and spook him?
Yes, but it didn't.
It awoke a sort of bloodlust in him, didn't it?
So the start of this story was that
it was
I thought that he was perhaps bullying you a bit, and it turns out it's the other way round completely.
The person you tried to bully at work turned out to be a sociopath.
Right, what about David?
Why does he keep a parrot in the Cobblers?
As a pet.
As a pet?
Yeah, it's not a colleague.
Did you go to the Cobblers a lot then? Because for him to go through all the effort of teaching a parrot to say nice shoes, Dave, I mean, I've probably been to a Cobblers like twice in the last 5 years. So do your shoes kind of wear out really quickly, or...?
Well, I suppose I probably do go to the Cobblers quite a lot.
OK, then that's fine.
And what sort of voice does the parrot have? Could you give us a taste of the parrot?
I'm so sorry?
A flavour.
You want me to do an impression?
Not so much an impression, more an evocation.
I suppose it would be sort of... I don't know what it's going to sound like until it comes out, so I'll be...
I'm pretty sure it's going to be quite bad.
I'm just going to say, yeah, I'm listening to it at the same time as you, so...
Welcome to my world.
Nice shoes, Dave.
That was horrible. That was the most horrible thing you've ever done.
Nothing like a parrot.
You've done some horrible things, but that was horrible.
Well, look, it's a parrot. You know,
it doesn't sound like a parrot. Are you sure it's not just a rather exotic man that works with Shabs?
Obviously, what you've got to understand is what you heard there wasn't the parrot. That was me.
But it was you
so if you're saying, that parrot sounds like a man pretending to be a parrot, I'm not
but
sure
it didn't
conclusive.
even sound like that, did it? Any parrot worth his salt would say, nice shoes, Dave.
Listen, Rob. You're in the chair. If you want to do a parrot impression at any point, you can just do it. We don't have to go around this ridiculous process.
What's the name of Shabs's parrot?
Graham.
It's sounding more and more like it is a man. It's a man stood in the corner of the shop. This parrot, is he 6 foot?
No.
Does he smoke a cigarette and go, all right, Dave, nice shoes?
All right, we need an answer. So, Lee's team, is Shabs Sean's bunker buddy, Johnny's parking prankster, or David's parrot pal?
I thought Sean told a great story. I love the fact that he's putting his drumsticks in his bunker.
Do you think that's perfectly acceptable?
That sounds like a euphemism, doesn't it?
You believe her?
Here's a question. Does Shabs look like the type of person who would have a nuclear bunker?
Definitely.
I think that Shabs looks like he could work in a garage.
What about David?
The bit I doubt is the fact that you're going to the Cobblers so regularly, because that would be the actions of a man who cares what he looks like.
What shoes have you got on tonight?
Do you want me to show you my shoes?
Yes, please.
Should we have a look and see if they're worn?
Oh, nice shoes, Dave.
And they
it's easily done, isn't it?
And, yeah, these have never been to the Cobblers.
You seem to be spending a lot of effort on the shoes and less effort to iron your trousers. That'd be a lesson to you, young man.
I didn't realise my offer to show you my shoes was going to lead to mockery.
You must have had
David, you must have suspected it.
Yes.
So you're saying Johnny? Emma?
Yes.
You're saying Johnny?
Reluctantly, I am.
OK. Right. Shabs, would you please reveal your true identity?
My name is Shabs, and I used to park cars on Johnny's for...
Yes, Shabs is Johnny's parking prankster. Thank you very much, Shabs. So please welcome this week's special guest, Jamie. So, Rory, who is Jamie to you?
This is Jamie, and after a mix-up in a tattoo parlour, we now have each other's tattoo.
Daisy, how do you know Jamie?
This is my ex-boyfriend, Jamie, and I used to put sleeping pills in my parents' tea so I could sneak him into the house.
And finally, Lee, what is your relationship with Jamie?
This is Jamie. While staying at an Airbnb, I mistook him for an intruder and attacked him with a whisk.
So, there we have it. David's team, where would you like to begin?
Daisy, when did you go out with Jamie?
When I was about 14, 15.
Where did you get the sleeping pills?
My mother had them to get to sleep.
What was the drug?
It was just regular kind of night-old sleeping pills.
I don't know.
Over the counter. Over the counter.
But they weren't prescription. They weren't like some hardcore thing from
No.
from a doctor. So you were trying to get them just to nod off a little bit earlier than they would have done.
Yes.
What sort of time would you administer the dose?
So I would administer, especially when they're watching Inspector Morse. So I'd say, "Can I make you a cup of tea?" They'd say, "Yes, please," and I'd be in the kitchen putting them in the.
How many times did you do this? How often did you do this as a tactic?
I think for the duration of our relationship.
Which was?
About a year.
What was it about Jamie that was so unacceptable to your waking parents?
Because he was a very angry goth. And he didn't treat me very well.
See, I wasn't necessarily assuming that your parents didn't approve of the relationship, just that they didn't approve of you, the thought of you holding hands with him.
No.
Did you think you were coming on Jeremy Kyle?
So you've drugged your parents. What happens next?
Then they go to sleep.
What, in the chair?
No, they say...
And you say, "Come on, in you come, my lover, don't worry about them, they're out for the count."
They say, strangely, this episode of Inspector Morse doesn't seem as gripping as yours. Let's get an early night. Who cares who did it?
They get very tired
Yeah.
watching the show. They poodle off up to bed. At this point, he's finished work at the Chinese restaurant, so I sneak him round the back gate.
And because he's a
comes into
goth,
the
he's
house.
very well camouflaged in the dark.
Then Mum goes to bed, and we just listen to Iron Maiden very quietly and write goth poetry together.
I've never heard that euphemism.
No,
but... OK, and this happened for about a year, and were your parents unaware of the relationship altogether?
No, because they woke up once. And...
You went and got the chloroform and the hanky.
So they woke up, and my mum walks into the room to find some black goth hair on my pillow and says, "Paul," which is my dad, "get down here now. Daisy's smuggled in Jamie. Kick him out of the house and say something responsible." So my dad said, "Get out my house, you pillock."
OK, now then, what about Rory?
OK, so Rory, what was going to be your tattoo, and what tattoo did you end up with?
I wanted a tattoo of a crescent moon, quite classy. Instead... Easy. Instead, I got a picture of Popeye's face.
And where?
Just there on my left shoulder blade.
Have you still got it?
Yes.
And how did the mix-up occur?
We were on holiday in Thailand together. Bit of a lads booze up. One thing led to another. We all got a bit merry, shall we say. And I don't think it was Jamie's idea. I think it's probably Sam, my other friend, who said, let's all get tattoos.
Yeah, that sounds like Sam. That's a kind of...
It's a very Sam thing to do.
Yeah.
When was this, Rory?
Late 2000s.
The late 2000s?
Sorry, early 2000s, my bad.
The early 2000s?
Well, the late 2000s would be nearly 1,000 years. A long time in the future.
So you're in Thailand.
Yeah.
Talk us through the tattoo parlour. Where was it situated?
Koh Phangan. So you fly in, you get to Bangkok, and then I think...
If you're lucky.
And then you travel to Koh Phangan, and there's this little parlour, and they're used to tourists coming in all the time, and they have multiple beds, if I remember correctly.
Not classy.
And not that kind of establishment. And then you choose out of a book what you want.
Yeah.
And then you kind of
So
go...
I know what a book is.
I'll have the number 4, Jamie wanted the number 5, or whatever
With rice,
it was.
or...?
Not that kind of establishment.
Okay.
And then they
So it is neither a restaurant nor a brothel. The kind of establishment it is a tattoo parlour with beds and a low standard of administrative competence.
You'd have gone out of the storm on this stag weekend, David.
Rory, how long was it before you realised the mistake?
Immediately. Yeah, you stand up, there's a mirror there, you go like that. And there wasn't a picture of a classy crescent moon, there was a picture of Popeye's face with the pipe and everything.
Who was more upset by this outcome, you or Jamie?
Me, by far.
Right.
Absolutely. He's now got a classy crescent moon on his back. I've got Popeye. Are you not following this?
OK, now then, what about Lee? Remind us, Lee, of your claim.
So this is Jamie, and while staying in an Airbnb, I mistook him for an intruder, and I attacked him with a whisk.
OK, and where was the Airbnb?
The Airbnb was in Rye.
And why were you staying in an Airbnb in Rye?
Because I like to get away from my family, full stop. No, I like to go away and write and just get some peace and quiet, so I go away for 2 or 3 days, occasionally, very occasionally.
Why did you
Get married in the first place? I don't know. I've asked myself every day the same question.
Why did you choose a whisk over a knife?
Well, as you may know, that a lot of people that are attacked in their home are often attacked with their own weapons, because what they do is they take a weapon, like a hammer, and they go, get out my house, and then the burglar panics, and then he grabs the hammer, and a fight ensues, and then the person ends up getting injured. So when I opened the drawer, I had to make a selection. And I couldn't go knife for the reasons I've just explained. I looked at big rolling pin. I could get attacked with that. But you can't go the other way either. You can't pick up the Mr. Men jelly mould. And I had to find out what was the perfect middle ground between... It looks aggressive and offensive, but I think it'll be all right if he tries to hit me with it. What's the most he's going to do? Mess my hair up?
And you wouldn't want a knife, you wouldn't want to kill him. You'd have a whisk, you could just beat him.
You beat with a fork, you whisk with a whisk.
The applause begs to differ. Let's set the scene. Paint a more vivid picture for us.
It was daytime.
It was daytime?
Yeah. I mistook him for an intruder because I subsequently found out that on the email that was sent by the person who owned the house, they said, oh, by the way, someone's coming, whatever it was, Saturday afternoon, to have a look at the wood-burning stove. I hope that's OK. There'll only be 20 minutes or whatever. So I was asleep, and it was about midday, something like that, and I hear a noise downstairs. And then he starts playing around with the wood-burning stove.
Oh, no.
And I get worried. I think someone's down there.
Because the noise is sort of...
Sorry, well, you are Welsh. Are you asking me the time? And so I go downstairs, and I see this figure. I panic. and I was going to say, get out, or else. I don't know what I was thinking. I just ran at him.
I'll whip you to a soft peak.
Oh, no, I definitely didn't say that to him. No, never say that to a strange man in your house, David. And I whacked him on the back really hard, just kept whacking him and whacking him.
You hadn't previously challenged him or asked him why he was there. You just went straight in and battered him with a hand whisk.
I just panicked and I was
just straight in, he went to the kitchen, got the hand, batter, batter, batter.
No, there's no batter involved.
We need an answer. So David's team, is Jamie Rory's branded buddy, Daisy's smuggled sweetheart, or Lee's innocent intruder?
What do you think, Diane?
Well, I'm not sure about night owl. I don't think it's that strong. So I think Daisy's lying.
Yeah.
How old do you have to be to know about Popeye?
Oh, that's
Because I think
why would he pick... Yeah.
it doesn't ring true.
OK.
You know that if it's not Daisy and not Rory, that means it's Lee.
Can't be Lee.
So, what's it going to be, David?
I think it's Daisy.
You think it's Daisy?
I could be persuaded that it's Daisy.
We'll go with Daisy.
You're going to say Daisy? Yeah. Jamie, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Jamie, and I used to sneak into Daisy's house.
Well done, guys.
Yes, Jamie is Daisy's smuggled sweetheart. Of course, this is not something you should ever do, putting sleeping pills in someone's tea. And thank you very much, Jamie. So please welcome this week's special guest, Maria. So, Ronan, what is Maria to you?
This is Maria. She is the Boys' Own competition winner that 20 years ago won the duvet from my bed.
Tough. How do you know Maria?
So, this is Maria. She works for my new business venture, selling clip-on earrings for dogs.
And finally, David, what is your relationship with Maria?
This is Maria, and she once gave me a ginger nut when I came over all queasy on a glass-bottomed boat.
Lee's team, where will you begin?
Well, we'll begin with Ronan, I think. So she won your duvet 20 years ago. First of all, what was the competition? What was it? Was it on a TV show?
It was my 21st birthday, and it was a radio show. And on the radio show, we did a competition to give away my duvet.
Was it actually your duvet, or did you just buy a duvet?
It was actually my duvet.
Sorry, just to be clear, do you mean the duvet or the duvet cover, or both?
It was all of it.
You can't just... Oh, you mean all the horrible old manky duvet bit that's inside it? Full of coffee stains and others.
What did she have to do? So it's a radio show. They're going, very good morning to you. You're going to be... get your chance today to win Ronan Keating's duvet.
I was in Ireland. It was in Ireland.
Sorry?
It was in Ireland.
Sorry, Ronan, he's got a limited range.
Oh, sorry.
The only chance you've got is if Ronnie Corbett co-hosted.
What did she have to do?
It was a competition. People had to send me a birthday card.
Right.
And I would pick one of the birthday cards out.
So tell us how it worked. Talk us through it.
We were actually doing the show live from my house on my birthday. And...
now it's...
nice detail.
They came to the house. Yeah.
Right.
And so we did it from there. So they wanted an item from my house.
So they just had to send you a birthday card and you would choose the best. And how did you judge the picture? What was it?
We put the cards in the washing machine.
You put the cards
in the washing machine.
In the washing machine.
So, and we spun it around a bit, and then I put my hand in and I took a card out, and it was Maria's.
Did you sign it, the duvet?
I did.
Was it a single or a double?
It was a double.
Did they have buttons along the top or the side?
Down the end.
Right, you're lying. Nobody would know that. Nobody would remember that. Everyone knows that.
How else do you think they got the duvet in and out?
Duvet from 20 years ago?
Well, from whatever era, it has to have buttons on. How do you get the duvet in and out?
No, sometimes the buttons are down the side. You're saying it was on the end. You'd never remember where
It depends on which way you turn it.
No. Side.
They're always at the bottom. No,
Buttons are never down the side. Never.
I think I know what's happening here. I think you've got the duvet the wrong way round.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question? Do you find means, when you're sleeping at night, that your neck and knees and toes get very cold.
Let's move on. Who would you like to question next?
Let's go with Toff. Toff, you are claiming what?
So Maria basically runs the production of my new business venture, making clip-on earrings for dogs.
OK. How's that going?
Well...
Are you going for a particular breed, or is it for any dogs?
No, it's for any dogs, but we've had to be quite careful about the clasps, because obviously dogs' ears are quite thin.
Yeah.
We've got 10 different styles.
I'll go through them all quickly.
So, oh, God, do I have to do all of them? I'm not sure that's embarrassing.
Do you want to change it to 3?
We've got 2 pearl ones. We've got, like, a small one and then a longer one.
Oh, you're gonna get through the 10 like that, are you? Then we've got a medium-sized pearl, then we've got a very large pearl one. Basically, we've got 10 sizes of pearl.
If I wanted to put an earring on my schnauzer, how would I go about it?
Well, the company's called Dog and Sloan. Get it?
Dog and Sloan,
Dog and Bone,
I like that. That's very good.
I wanted Bone Ranger, but it was already taken, which is
yes,
annoying.
That's my website, isn't it?
What does Maria do for your business, and how did you recruit her?
I found her on... it's called Radio HP, have you heard of it? It's like Gumtree for posh people.
It's like what?
Gumtree for posh people.
Right.
It is.
What did the advert say?
They just said, work based in Battersea, production manager.
Battersea, because you think they'd be good clients, though?
Yeah.
Captive audience, literally.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because that's what homeless dogs are looking for, priority, isn't it? Who's looking for a new home, then? No, I'm looking for a new pearl drop. They do an array of size of pearls, apparently. How big is this business going to be that you're going to have people?
Maria's one of 4.
She's one of 4 staff members that are working for you.
I'm not joking.
Okay?
I promise.
One of 4.
Oh, you promise? Well, why didn't you say? Oh, I didn't know you were promising. Oh, that's a whole different ball game. Oh, we don't need to ask anymore. We don't need to ask David. It's tough. She's telling the truth because she's promised, doesn't she?
What about David?
OK, remind us, David, of your...
well, Maria gave me a ginger nut.
Oh, yeah.
When I came over all queasy on a glass-bottomed boat.
I've known you long enough, David, to know that you would not accept a ginger nut from a stranger.
Where were you in the world?
I was near the island of Capri in Italy.
Who were you with, David?
I was on my own.
On your own?
You were on your own?
Yeah.
On holiday on your own?
No, my wife and child had consented to join me on a holiday.
Why were you queasy?
Because of the undulation of the boat caused by the action of the sea.
Nothing to do with the glass bottom, then? It wasn't because...
Well, I think it might have been something to do with the glass bottom, because one thing they tell you not to do if you're suffering from motion sickness in a boat or a car, they tell you don't just stare at the floor. If you've paid to go for a ride on a glass-bottomed boat, you're wasting your money if you just stare at the horizon, which you can do from the land. The whole point of the glass-bottomed boat is to look straight at the bottom of the boat, which is, ironically, the very action that will make you nauseous. And so I say it's a design fault.
What was Maria doing on the boat?
Glass-bottomed boats are for tourists, really. They're not used much in international freight. So we were all of us on the boat, really, apart from the driver, was there in a capacity of a tourist.
And she came prepared for the trip with some ginger nuts?
Yes.
We all do. Who doesn't go sailing without ginger nuts?
Well, me.
Well, ginger nuts are... That's what they recommend. I just recently did a programme with the Navy, and that's what they recommended. Ginger nuts, they swear by them for travel sickness, for motion sickness.
Do they?
Absolutely.
Ginger nut biscuits?
They do.
So she said to you, let me offer you a ginger nut. Did Maria say anything else? What was the exchange then?
She I can't really remember, but she said...
What, you just ignored her? You took the ginger, you were thanks very much. Oh. Is that what you did?
Yeah, well, I mean, that is how my face is, so, you know...
Right, we need an answer. So, Lee's team, is Maria Ronan's bedding buddy, Toff's doggy designer, or David's seasick Samaritan?
Well, I think Toff's out
Is she?
Yeah, surely, right? No one's buying doggy earrings.
Well, I think as upsetting and disgusting as it is,
yeah,
it's Ronan.
I don't
Far more
find it
upsetting.
Ronan's?
No.
Don't you?
As, like, a 12-year-old girl, I would have loved to have won Mark
Yeah.
Owen's duvet.
Yeah.
That would look like a flannel.
What about David?
Well, you see, David, nauseous, on a boat. No one was gone with him. It's all ringing true, isn't it?
So let's make a decision.
It's Ronan.
Ronan. We'll go for it.
You're going to say it's Ronan? OK. Maria, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Maria, and I won Ronan Keating's duvet.
Yes, Maria did win Ronan's duvet, and she has kept it all those years, and it's here.
Which side does it? Open!
Oh, yeah? But he signed it, that's nice.
Yeah. And just clarify, there was never a cover.
There was never a cover?
Never a cover.
You cheapskate.
Which is different to their albums, which was full of covers.
There you go. Isn't that nice? Hello, Maria.
Come on, 2 years later,
how are you? Nice to see you. Now, that's how you treat your fans, Lee. And this is your most treasured possession.
Yes,
Well, that's... And where's it been for all these years?
the attic.
In the attic. Really treasured. Well, Maria, thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
Safe trip home. Lovely, thank you for coming.
Thank you
Maria.
very much.
Odd, you're next.
For 1 month, I chose to sleep on the streets rather than talk to the people I was supposed to be living with.
David C.
And at what stage in your life was this?
What stage?
Yes.
Do you mean how old was I?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Age 20.
Whereabouts? Where was it?
Spain.
What made you vacate your house?
There was no house, and I never went to it.
You never went there at all?
It was a hotel or hostel thing, you know, not a house. Yeah. I went there, stood outside.
OK.
Looked at it.
Yeah.
Thought, nah.
So it wasn't the people, it was the...
It was the idea of the people.
You wanted to live alone and were surprised that a hostel didn't afford that possibility.
And you stayed on the street for a whole month.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, bar a couple of nights here or there, yeah.
Did you pull on the other nights? What happened on those?
You're absolutely right, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So on those occasions, the thought of other people wasn't quite so loathsome.
Yes.
Where in Spain was this?
It was in Salamanca, and I slept on a bench, right dead centre of a square.
How were you washing your clothes?
I didn't.
Well, how many pairs of pants did you have?
I'm going to say 4, but...
4 for a month without washing them?
I said 4, but it could have been 7.
Well, 7's not enough. You need 28, otherwise you're an animal.
I hate to support your own teammate against you, Lee. If you're going to a place for a month, you might decide that you're not going to take enough underwear to have a fresh pair of pants every day without ever washing them.
How many pairs of pants do you own?
I think I've probably got about... I've got maybe...
Look at you, desperate thinking. Was this the right answer? David, there's nothing right or wrong. You're amongst friends.
I think I've got about 14 pairs I'm happy with.
Yeah.
And another 4 or 5 that would do at a pinch, and I use the word advisedly.
Predominantly boxers or bikini brief?
Predominantly... I mean, it's interesting that this is what the conversation's going around to. Predominantly what I believe is referred to as a sort of trunk.
You favour the trunk?
Yeah.
I think you mean the jockey short. Like a boxer short shape, but tighter.
Look, I'll just take my trousers off and you can look.
I did wash a pair of pants.
Oh, you remember that?
I did wash
It's amazing how these things come back to you.
The reason I chose the middle of the square was because there was a bin lorry that would come around every morning in concentric circles, just spraying from the side of the lorry, hosing down the square. I would stay in the middle, and then I would wash in the bin lorry when it got to the centre. And one day I did wash a pair of pants on the hose on the side of the bin lorry. I did.
Wow.
I did.
So you
Hi, girls. This is my friend Rod. Would you like a drink?
You put a pair of pants in the way of a bin lorry's hose to wash it.
I used to wash in the bin lorry, well, a tap at the side of the bin lorry, yeah.
So they wouldn't mind you sauntering up to the bin lorry and turning the tap
No,
on?
they were very amenable, the local bin man, Miguel.
Did you learn the phrase, can I wash my pants on the side of your bin lorry in Spanish?
Se puede lavarme los... what's underpants in Spanish, Rob?
Pantalonero.
Sí. Pantalonero.
How many pants have you got, Rob?
I was just given a gift. It was my birthday recently, not that you'd know from any response from you. And...
I didn't know you were still alive. What did you get for your birthday?
Oh, sorry, yeah, I got some...
Old man who forgot the story. I got a lovely present anyway. On with the game. Do you remember, Rob, you were telling us a lovely story about your pants? Tell us about your pants.
I got some pants.
Yeah.
Now, yes. So, Ronan Keating, what do you think?
Yeah, I could see him doing that.
Toff, what about you?
I think it's a completely insane thing to do what you did, so I think you're lying.
There is a lot of detail. I'm going to go true.
You're saying it's true. OK, Rod. Was it the truth, or was it a lie?
It was a... true! Insane.
Yes, it's true. Rod, you're next.
For 1 month, I chose to sleep on the streets rather than talk to the people I was supposed to be living with.
David C.
And at what stage in your life was this?
What stage?
Yes.
Do you mean how old was I?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Age 20.
Whereabouts? Where was it?
Spain.
What made you vacate your house?
There was no house, and I never went to it.
You never went there at all?
It was a hotel, sort of hostel thing, you know, not a house, yeah. I went there, stood outside.
OK.
Looked at it.
Yeah.
Thought, nah.
So it wasn't the people, it was the...
It was the idea of the people.
You wanted to live alone and were surprised that a hostel didn't afford that possibility.
And you stayed on the street for a whole month?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, bar a couple of nights here or there, yeah.
Did you pull on the other nights? What happened on those?
You're absolutely right, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So on those occasions, the thought of other people wasn't quite so loathsome.
Yes.
Where in Spain was this?
It was in Salamanca, and I slept on a bench, right dead centre of a square.
How were you washing your clothes?
I didn't.
Well, how many pairs of pants did you have?
I'm going to say 4, but...
4 for a month without washing them?
I said 4, but it could have been 7.
Well, 7's not enough. You need 28, otherwise you're an animal.
No, but I hate to support your own teammate against you, Lee. If you're going to a place for a month, you might decide that you're not going to take enough underwear to have a fresh pair of pants every day without ever washing them.
How many pairs of pants do you own?
I think I've probably got about... I've got maybe...
Look at you, desperate thinking. Was this the right answer? There's nothing right or wrong. You're amongst friends.
I think I've got about 14 pairs I'm happy with.
Yeah.
And another 4 or 5 that would do at a pinch, and I use the word advisedly.
Predominantly boxers or bikini brief?
Predominantly... I mean, it's interesting that this is what the conversation's going on to. Predominantly what I believe is referred to as a sort of trunk.
You favour the trunk?
Yeah.
I think you mean the jockey short. Like a boxer short shape, but tighter.
Look, I'll just take my trousers off and you can look.
I did wash a pair of pants.
Oh, you remember that?
I did wash
It's amazing how these things come back to you.
The reason I chose the middle of the square was because there was a bin lorry that would come round every morning in concentric circles, just spraying from the side of the lorry, hosing down the square. I would stay in the middle, and then I would wash in the bin lorry when it got to the centre. And one day I did wash a pair of pants on the hose on the side of the bin lorry. I did.
Wow.
I did.
So you
hi, girls. This is my friend Rod. Would you like a drink?
You put a pair of pants in the way of a bin lorry's hose to wash it.
I used to wash in the bin lorry, well, a tap at the side of the bin lorry, yeah.
So they wouldn't mind you sauntering up to the bin lorry and turning the tap on?
No, they were very amenable, the local bin man, Miguel.
So you got
Did you learn the phrase, can I wash my pants on the side of your bin lorry in Spanish?
Se puede lavarme los underpants in Spanish, Rob.
Pantalondero.
Sí. Pantalondero.
How many pants have you got, Rob?
I was just given a gift. It was my birthday recently, not that you'd know from any response from you. And...
I didn't know you were still alive. What did you get for your birthday?
Oh, sorry, yeah, I got some...
Old man who forgot the story. I got a lovely present anyway. On with the game. Do you remember, Rob, you were telling us a lovely story about your pants? Tell us about your pants.
I got some pants.
Yeah.
Now, Ronan Keating, what do you think?
Yeah, I could see him doing that.
Toff, what about you?
I think it's a completely insane thing to do what you did, so I think you're lying.
There is a lot of detail. I'm going to go true.
You're saying it's true. OK, Rod. Was it the truth, or was it a lie?
It was a... true!
Yeah!